skyhooked. He played with Magic Johnson.
He was also, as I'm watching this this show on HBO Max, he was also a D-bag.
Kareem was?
He was, again, I don't know how the portrayal's real or not.
Yeah.
What a rude SOB, though.
Is he the first guy that ever did the skyhook, Jerry?
He's the first guy I know that did it.
No one does it anymore.
No one does it anymore. I'm sure that was done for years, and just same way they shoot underhand back in the day, underhand free throws back in the day. But, yeah, no one does it anymore, and I don't know why no one's ever tried to perfect it since. It's indefensible.
Yeah, when I would play street ball, Jerry, in the mean streets of Colonia, New Jersey, I would skyhook it all the time, man. I was like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
6 years in Milwaukee for Kareem.
6 years?
Not one.
All right.
But
I really see him as a Laker, though.
Well, yeah, because his next 16 were in L.A.
Oh, 16 years. That's why I see him as a Laker, Jerry. Skyhook. No one does it.
No one does. Now they do the little jump hook now.
Jump hook shot?
Yes, little jump hook.
So you don't think you could defend the skyhook?
I don't, because of where the ball... First of all, you got both shoulders in the line between the ball and the rim. And the defender, you can't get over the top of that.
You know that dude on Purdue that's tall that you were telling me about? Zach Edey? But he's awkward, and like I watched him.
Not the most athletic.
Not the most. That dude should learn how to skyhook, change his game.
That would change the game.
Probably be drafted in the NBA.
I think he'll play in the NBA anyway because he's 7'4". Yeah, he's seven. Someone will sign him.
He didn't even start those games. You were telling me that
he started every game.
Well, who was the other guy that wasn't a starter?
Trevion Williams.
Oh,
he came off the bench. Probably a better player.
I see.
But Edey started.
Yeah, that guy's tall.
Yeah,
he needs to skyhook it.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, so just to be aware of your silly April Fool's jokes, Jerry. And now let me ask you this:
we're off Giannis already.
What's that?
We're off Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he broke. Like if you told
he
me
also played a great game last night.
If you told me he broke a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's historical record,
no, I'm with you. I hear what you're saying.
I mean, come on. Who else was even on the Bucks?
But
historically
he played. You're chicken. Are you serious?
I also do some chest presses, then eat more chicken.
Right. When you say workout, put quotes on that.
I am sick of Jacob DeGrom.
It's a lot.
Let's trade him.
I couldn't believe it. When I woke up this morning, the first tweet I saw was from Evan. Now, I fell asleep in the third quarter of the night. I really wanted to watch the whole game last night, but I couldn't. I fell asleep in the third quarter. First thing I did when I woke up, let's see if they held on. Let's see if they won the game. Okay, great. They lost in overtime. And then I see a Evan Roberts tweet. The Nets are going to freaking blow this, and Jake's hurt. I'm like, what? He didn't even pitch yesterday.
No, it's just dumb.
So, whatever. The whole thing is
Go ahead. You were about to say something.
Shoulder tightness from long toss?
Right. Get lost. What? Get lost.
And now, he might go out there and throw 5 innings today. Don't know.
Yeah, but here's what you do know. It's April 1st. This is going to happen all year long. It very well might.
I'm
not going to get all up in arms about it.
You can't. There's nothing you can do.
Right, because guess what, Jacob
They got
DeGrom,
Max Scherzer. That's what.
Yeah, he'll get hurt too.
Max Scherzer, I don't know if Max Scherzer gets hurt like Jacob DeGrom does.
He goes down the Mets now, he'll get hurt. This is what, every year, we've got so much pitching. They didn't even get to the first series and guys get hurt.
First game, forget the series.
Right, first game, Jerry.
How about get out of spring training?
Just get lost.
I hear you.
Seriously.
It's a lot. It is.
So
it's
dumb.
very tiresome.
And I don't know. Maybe we just hear too much. Tell us when someone goes on the injured reserve list or injured list.
Well, I do think the information is too much in every regard because you hear about every fingernail, every bump, every bruise. And to Boomer's point, the managers talk twice a day, every day during the season. We don't need to know everything.
We don't.
I completely agree. It's way too much information.
If he's missing a game, tell me that morning. Oh, well, he's not going to pitch. If he goes on the injured list, by the way, why isn't it not the DL list anymore? I know that's changed. Why?
I don't know the answer to that.
Was that a politically correct thing that you can't say disabled list?
I believe it was.
Because they're not really disabled?
I believe it was.
Wow.
And now it's the injured list.
The IL, they call it now.
Exactly.
If someone's going on the IL, then I'm interested.
Yeah, well, you're going to be interested next week when he doesn't make the start opening day. If that is the case, here's what's great about it. I don't know if anybody's even thought about this yet. I love that. If he can't pitch, I love this. That means Max Scherzer will be the opening day starter. What does that also mean?
That the Apple TV.
Hey, Apple TV, Stick it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
You can have Carlos Correa, which is fine, but you're not getting Max Scherzer against the Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting.
Right, which means we would get Max Scherzer with Gary, Keith, and Ron, which everyone wants.
Right. That's not too bad, is it?
It is, Jerry, they say that's not too shabby.
That's right. So we shall see. We'll find out a lot today.
What do you mean?
Well, if he pitches today, then we know it was really nothing, and he's a hypochondriac. That, anytime he feels anything. But if he's out there, we're good.
Otherwise, he's getting an MRI, right?
This is what they're saying.
Is that where you go in the tube?
Yes.
And they do your whole body?
They can.
Or can they just
I have never had an MRI,
shoulder?
so I don't know, but I do know that's the tube.
Why do people get upset being in a tube?
Because it's claustrophobic. It's very tight.
Yeah.
And you can't move for the length of the test.
It's called a nap.
If you can sleep through it. It's also very loud and annoying. My son, who's had several of them, passes out.
Right.
No problem. Then I have other people in my family that freak out and don't. Boomer doesn't, right? He hates an MRI.
Doesn't like it.
So
he has to get the stand-up MRI.
Not equal for everyone. I don't know why we all don't do those. Seems so much simpler.
It's so much. Maybe it doesn't get as good an image.
Perhaps.
Or maybe some people like me, like your son, we just like to relax when we get our MRIs and lay down.
That could be too.
Just get a nice sleep in.
We also don't sleep, so it's very easy for us to fall asleep in those
That's
things.
true. By the way, there's a homeless gentleman sleeping in our revolving door this morning.
Correct, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did that take you by surprise?
It did.
Me too.
That did catch me off guard. Now, we go through at that time of the morning, they don't use the revolving doors. But during normal business hours, those revolving doors get. I hope someone doesn't go to leave through the revolving door and doesn't see the gentleman, and then.
My guess is he'll be asked to move on before they unlock those doors.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was concerned when I saw that this morning. I did give Gio a heads up. I said, just FYI, there's a homeless man sleeping in our revolving door.
Nice.
Do you remember that song, Ladies Come, Ladies Go, by my revolving door?
I don't.
Come back for more. I'll play it coming out of the break, Jerry.
Can't wait. That by the Revolvers?
I forget who does that, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it good. I'm going to get her done, Jerry. Get her done. Get her done, Jerry. Get her done.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What other news do I have, Jerry? I
hope something, because we got 50 minutes to go.
50 more minutes? You're kidding. I had Jacob DeGrom slotted for 45 of those.
I'll talk about DeGrom. That's fine.
No. What do you make of this Brian Cashman situation, Jerry?
This is embarrassing. That's what I make of it.
That's what I felt.
Absolutely embarrassing. And the fact that he's going to, unless somehow, some way, this conversation was portrayed and taken out of context. But looking at the quotes, I don't know how it can be. It's embarrassing.
Brian Cashman said that he's kind of sick of people saying that the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2000. Been in the World Series since 2009, and he blamed the cheating Astros for the Yankees not getting in the year that they cheated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He says, cheating Astros. I get offended. This is Brian Cashman speaking. I get offended when I start hearing we haven't been to the World Series since 2009 because I'm like, well, I think we actually did it the right way. The only thing that derailed us was a cheating circumstance.
Wrong. You know what derailed you? 1 run in game 1, 1 run in game 2, 1 run in game 6, shutout in game 7. That's a great offense, isn't it?
That's terrible, Jerry.
Now, he's not wrong. What the Astros did was wrong. To me, whatever. But I understand you want to be angry about it. They didn't score any runs. Stop.
I wish you were talking to him. You would have said that, right?
I sat here with Boomer through the whole thing, and all we did was complain about the Yankee offense. So, yeah, all right, so the Astros cheated. We got it. Fantastic. They didn't score. Last time I checked, it's hard to win a game when you score 1, 2, 3 runs in 4 games in Houston.
Yeah, just ask Jacob DeGrom and Johan Santana in their years with the Mets.
Honestly, I could not believe those quotes when I read them.
I like this, too. He goes, I'm past it now, but it does bother me. If you're past it, then it doesn't bother you. He's not past it.
He's not past it.
What if he went to therapy to get past it?
He might need
cognitive behavioral therapy.
And not for nothing, too, be careful because you got this letter that's going to be revealed this week. Now, my guess would be, and I hope this is the case, that there's nothing in it. If that's the case, I don't know why they were trying to block it so badly.
Correct.
But you put these quotes out there. If there's something that the Yankees were doing, and I'm not even getting into what Russo was talking about, because I know that one, not viral, but that was all over the place yesterday, at least in the New York feed, Twitter-wise, in terms of the Yankees in the 2000s with the quote-unquote steroid allegations and all sorts of things like that, and we know certain guys were caught, fine. You've got that already. Now you've got this letter that's going to be revealed. You had an offense that spit the bit in that series horribly, and you're going to sit there and say the only reason you didn't make the World Series was because the Astros were banging a freaking garbage can?
That's right.
Knock it off. I can't take it.
Brian Cashman sucks.
Well, I'm not saying that, but God.
Well, Boomer just said
horrible. Just horrible. I mean, to even make those comments.
Yeah.
3 runs in 4 games from that vaunted Yankee offense. 3 runs.
You say it, Jerry.
God. Now, did they have a garbage can for the pitchers, too?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it was hitters' garbage cans.
Man. Whatever.
No,
I remember going through that with Boomer that fall, and I remember saying, and I'm pulling up the scores just to refresh myself. And I remember after they lost the first 2 games, they lost 2-1 and 2-1, and I remember saying, if they're not going to score more than a run a game, they're not winning anything. And all right, they did well at Yankee Stadium, but they couldn't score in Houston. Ball game.
You need to hit home runs,
but that's
score. Right,
that's been the problem with the Yankees in the postseason since whenever. That's what they're built for the regular season. You go up against good pitching then in the playoffs, and if you don't hit the home run, you do nuts. And that's what they've done for how many years now?
Many years.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. You're right, Jerry, that Brian Cashman calling the Astros cheaters, saying that that's why they didn't go to the World Series. They scored very few runs, and there's a letter coming out, which should probably be next week.
I think it's next week.
About the Yankees cheating.
And in 2009, who was the postseason MVP, or at least the World Series MVP?
Give me a team. The Astros?
No, the Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees?
When they beat the Phillies in the World Series.
It was a hitter.
It was A-Rod.
A-Rod.
And what did we find out about A-Rod?
An A-bomb from A-Rod.
How can you, with a straight face, give those quotes? When the two, and I love A-Rod. I do.
Me too.
What he did wrong, I'm not apologizing. I'm not saying it's okay. None of that stuff. But that's tainted, no?
Yes. It's tainted love.
Lord. You can't say these things when you've got that in your past. I tell you, if this letter says anything, oh my gosh.
Oh, the Astros are going to go crazy.
Oh, and Yankee fans too should.
Yeah, but the Yankees will be like, we knew the Astros were cheating, so we cheated also.
No, but I'm saying I would think a self-respecting Yankee fan, if anything. See, the thing about the whole illegal substances and all that, so many guys were doing it. I hate it. I don't like it. And if the Yankees are going to sit there and complain about this, well, you kind of did something not similar, but something,
right?
You're
cheaters.
Yes, that was not proper as well. If something comes out on this letter, I would think a self-respecting Yankee fan might just, as Craig would say, zip their lip and shut up.
Zip your lip.
Yes.
Eddie's telling me Hideki Matsui was the MVP.
My mistake.
What was,
I apologize.
F up. What did A-Rod? A-Rod was the postseason MVP or something?
He was something, Jerry.
Matsui was what, the World Series MVP? Find out what because A-Rod's postseason was ridiculous. He carried them.
I do recall that.
Through the Twin Series. He was like a one-man show. So the whole, whatever.
I love A-Rod. And A-Bomb.
I did too.
From A-Rod.
And his last season, call it what was fun. When he was kind of old and thought he was washed up and he played quite well. So, and then remember his retirement game? It was sunny in Citi Field at Yankee Stadium. It was like
big storm clouds.
I was at Citi Field that night. I'm like, what's going on at Yankee Stadium? It was beautiful. It was so strange.
It was like the Munsters, how the Munsters car always had the thunderstorm.
That black cloud was following him.
It was pretty funny.
Eddie, I do apologize. I didn't mean to tell you to shut the F up. I'm sorry.
Right, it's early. It's
5:17,
18.
You got my point. That's all. Anyway, 5:18. We're just getting started.
We are.
When we come back, Al's got more because we've got 40 more minutes to go.
More sports.
And then Boomer and Gio.